Are we shopping?
Shopping.
Shopping.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Busy Vegan Mom. I'm super excited to share this video with you because I got to make applesauce muffins this week and it was super excited. I had a recommendation for a video from a sweet friend named Michelle, and so she wanted to see vegan applesauce muffins being made. And I gotta tell you, at first I was a little nervous because I have baked some in the past using different methods that are plant-based dairy swaps, and so I thought, oh gosh, how are these gonna turn out? I was scared they might be flat or like mushy or something like that. I didn't know how they would turn out. And so when I got all the ingredients and put everything together and they came out of the oven, I was super impressed. And I will add is that I am not a mom who bakes or uses processed sugar in anything. Of course, from time to time, you know, when we've got birthdays or celebrations, I have had vegan cakes that were specially made by a local vegan baker here. But when it comes to me baking personally, or anything that I'm going to be making and giving to my daughter or giving to other children or even friends, I don't use processed sugar. So in this recipe, I did my own swap, and instead of using processed sugar, I researched what I could use as a replacer that would be a whole food, wholesome ingredient. And I found that maple syrup, pure maple syrup, is a great substitute for sugar in baking. And so the recommendation was for every 1 cup of sugar to use 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup, and to lessen down all of your liquids, lower them down about 1/4. And so I considered the vegetable oil as a liquid, as well as I don't use vanilla, I use imitation vanilla for my own personal reasons. And so I used that, I considered that as a liquid as well. So I lowered that down by 1/4 in my ingredients. And I will show you a conversion chart so you can screenshot it and keep it for your records. Also share a couple of, or maybe one other option that you can use that I found while I was shopping for the ingredients that would also be a really good sugar replacement. I found monk fruit sweetener that's also granulated. So you'll see what that looks like once I show you my trip to the store. So the cool thing is the fact that these muffins literally have, so they do have applesauce, which, right, so that's your binding agent. The cool thing is I was able to get unsweetened applesauce, because why would we need sweetened applesauce, right? It's already sweet. It's got the natural sweetness from the apples. Tastes beautiful. Why do I need that extra sugar? I don't. And it's not recommended for children under 2 to have sugar at all. Really, none of us need actual processed sugar. It's not good for our bodies. And so I live by that rule. And so I'm going to replace it in any way that I can. And so using that unsweetened applesauce, already naturally sweet because it comes from sweet apples, and then replacing the sugar for the maple syrup. And then you've got your flavoring from the vanilla, and then you've got your spices like the nutmeg and the cinnamon and all of that stuff. So it just really made for an amazing tasting muffin. I was so surprised, and I'm so grateful. Like I'm thinking of making these every weekend. That way I can use them for mine and Berkley's breakfast, send them in her lunch, and they have been taste tested, and I've been told they taste good as well. So it's not just me, it's not just Berkley. I've been told that they are really good. So to know that these are clean ingredient muffins makes them even better to me. So I'm super excited and thankful for this video suggestion, and hope everyone will give these a try because they really are that good. And it's clean eating, it's vegan, it's plant-based, no harm done, right? So I'm gonna share with you guys what it looked like when we went to the store and the things that we found, the things I was low on, and also show you what all of the ingredients look like, and I'll include the recipe. And I super hope that you guys try these because they are that amazing. So take the look.
Say hi.
So here's me just getting a couple items that I was low on at the house to get all the ingredients rounded up for our applesauce muffins. Here's that imitation vanilla I was referring to that I like to use since I don't prefer to cook with alcohol. And another cute clip of Berkley here because Cocomelon's the best, playing with JJ. And we've got our maple syrup. Notice it is organic and 100% pure, nothing added. A little bit of baking soda, great value for the win. Here's the monk fruit sweetener I was talking about. It is granulated just like the sugar, and I've been told it is a fairly tasty sweetener option. And our unsweetened applesauce, I did go with the organic just because I like to. And here are all of our ingredients laid out. You'll see the flour, the maple syrup, the imitation vanilla, our spices such as our nutmeg and our cinnamon, and we've got some vegetable oil, the baking soda, and the unsweetened applesauce along with some pink salt. And we've got our flour here. It was about 2 cups, as well as the maple syrup that I was telling you guys I used. And we're going to add in our baking soda along with a little bit of our pink salt here. I'm sure it's to pull all the flavors together. Our cinnamon and our nutmeg. It was like a half a teaspoon of one and a teaspoon of the other. I will include the full recipe later in the video. And here's our vegetable oil. Normally don't like to cook with oil or use it at all. I definitely don't do it when I'm using any dish that requires like sauteing in oil or anything like that. I don't use it, so I like to saute it with water. But since we are baking, I decided, okay, well, let's use the oil. And here is our imitation vanilla that I did take down quite a bit since it was considered a liquid, and I wanted to make sure that all the other liquids were a quarter less than what the original recipe called for, so that way it wouldn't be overpowered with, runniness, I'm guessing, because the maple syrup is also a liquid. So here's me stirring up our batter, and it actually didn't take very long at all. I'm still very surprised at how easy it was to throw these together. Like I said, the mixing process was not too lengthy. I'm just using a regular wooden spoon here, as you can tell, and I'm sure that's accredited to the applesauce and the other things that are making it really easy to just absorb and mix up. So yes, and by the way, this batter did end up tasting amazing. Here's our finished product of the batter. This is what it should look like when you're done stirring it. And this is interesting because I'm using an ice cream scooper like it's suggested in the recipe. And I'm holding Berkley with one hand and scooping with the other. So you can imagine stuff was kind of all moving all over the place. And here's Berkley wanting to try some of our batter. And please excuse her nap hair because she did just wake up from a nap. And she was constantly asking for more, and it was completely, guilt-free because it's all clean, and she literally can just keep eating it because there's no processed sugar, nothing bad, nothing harmful in here. And so I was just fine to let her have as much as she wanted, which was a lot. Here's our batter in the cupcake, or in the muffin tins, if you will, and Berkley still eating it because it tasted that good. But don't worry, Mama was eating it too, so it wasn't just her. And these are all ready to go in the oven. They go in for 20 minutes at 350 degrees. And we'll see these out in just a moment. Here's our finished product. Look how they turned out. I didn't even use any muffin liners or anything like that. And they turned out perfect. Here's our taste test. Berkley's distracted by the cocomelon, and again, we've still got the nap hair going on. But she was excited to try something new, and of course, she's got to play with it a little bit before she takes that final bite. These were so fun to make, and I'm just, again, so impressed at how well they turned out. The consistency, the taste, and they're just so easy to put together and then throw in our lunches or our breakfast for the week.
So again, everybody, thank you so much for watching the video all the way through. I super hope that you guys will try these amazing muffins, plant-based, clean eating muffins. They're safe to give to your kids, to make to bring to work, and perfect for breakfast. I just throw some fruit in one of my containers and then a couple of these, maybe one depending on how big it is. And the same thing for Berkley's breakfast this past week. I would send her with blueberries and one of our homemade muffins. So I'm super excited for you guys to try this out and to know that they come out phenomenal even with the swaps. And it is always possible to make what you're eating just a little bit healthier. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video. Continue to send me your photos of the food. I'm so grateful, and I love seeing those plant-based foods that are sent over to me. I love hearing your questions. I love seeing your excitement, and I'm so grateful for all of the support that I have just received and the enthusiasm about the channel and everything that I'm trying to do here. And it makes me feel really, really awesome. So thank you guys for everything, and I hope you have a beautiful week, and we will see you next week on the Busy Vegan Mom. Bye.